in. From the heart of the city by the bay, this month's episode of WCC All-Access comes to you from the campus of the University of San Francisco. I'm Sarah Cazell, and on today's show, we take a tour of this stunning city with USF's bench boss. Plus, we catch up with a former All-American from Gonzaga who is back on the mound in the state of Washington. And we look back on the WCC's Decade in the Desert celebration. All of the sights and sounds from the basketball championships in Las Vegas. But first, baseball is here. San Diego's Rich Hill is entering his 20th season with the Toreros, but when he's off the diamond, you can find him at the beach. Our Sammy O'Brien caught a few waves with the USD head coach.
Sammy O'Brien here with the University of San Diego head baseball coach Rich Hill. Something people might not know that much about you unless they know you very closely is that you go surfing nearly every day.
Well, nearly every day is, let's perpetuate that myth. San Diego lifestyle is so awesome, Sammy, and it lends itself to the fitness type of lifestyle. I mean, we got our toes in the sand on a Tuesday morning. We got some light Santa Ana winds. Got a wave or two here, so welcome to paradise.
Since we're dressed, ready to go, I guess we might as well use it up.
Let's go. I grew up in Saratoga in Northern California, and my grandparents were from Watsonville. We were always over in Santa Cruz. You know, I spent my childhood in the ocean, basically, and you know, when I got the job here at San Diego, I said, hey, I'm gonna get a longboard. I'm gonna go out every day for a month because I've always just been drawn to it. And ever since then, I've been pretty much an addicted surfer and waterman.
How often do you get to come out here?
You know, when it's good, I'm on it. You know, the wintertime swells are great here in San Diego. But I can paddle. It's like going to the gym for me, so I'd say, you know, 2 or 3 times a week. Same beach every time, or you switch it up? No, I kind of mix it up, you know. I mean, you kind of learn what, you know, the right tides and the wind and the swell direction, and, you know, just kind of piece them all together, match it up, and get the best session possible. Is this something that helps you at all with baseball, or is this more of an escape for you? You know, to me, surfing and paddling is exactly that. It's surfing and paddling. I'm trying to take it to the next level. I don't think you can ever be, you know, as good as you want to be, but it's a challenge. It's my way of competing. It's my way of being a player. The benefit of that as a byproduct is kind of stress relief, relaxation. My players know when I've surfed that day. I think I'm a better coach, and I really think it's been the difference in me being able to, you know, sustain this job over 30 years and be where I'm at today. It's helped me tremendously. You've been at the university for over 20 years. Yeah. Have you ever had an opportunity to go coach somewhere else that maybe the ocean wouldn't be so accessible for you to go every day? Yes. You know, there's been some opportunities that have come my way. I've been blessed to have those choices, but there's such thing as surf trips. So, you know, I love the University of San Diego, what it represents, and the opportunity to recruit the best players in the country, to compete for a national championship, to be inside the top 25 year in and year out, all at the same time maintaining a lifestyle that I love. Do you ever bring players out here, whether it be guys on your team already or recruits? You know what, we've had a few of my players that have come out more, you know, in the summer when they're going to summer school. I remember Dylan Covey was out here, big leaguer now at the White Sox. We were up at Cardiff one day, Calvin Drummond, Kevin Mew. So yeah, throughout the years, we've kind of come out and enjoyed the ocean together. During the school year, you know, these guys think, yeah, I'm going to surf, I'm going to come to San Diego, and it just doesn't go that way. I mean, they're trying and putting everything into becoming the best they can be and ultimately a Major League Baseball player. So that really is the focus in their life right now. So it doesn't happen too often, but once in a while.
Rich Hill, what a life. All right, on to tennis. Doubles teams have to be in sync to be successful, right? But how well do the partners really know each other? We put a duo from LMU to the test in this edition of Know Your Teammates.
Sammy O'Brien here with the number 24 women's tennis doubles partners in the nation. Veronica and Ava here to my side. We're gonna play a little name to see how well you guys know each other. You're both freshmen, so you just met in the fall. You're also from other countries. Veronica from Russia, Ava from Germany. Let's get it going. We'll start off first. See who is louder on the court. Who is better at English?
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Yeah. We'll go first. Ava, what is Veronica's favorite shot?
That's a slant word.
And then, same. There you go. It's probably why you guys are so good together.
Yeah.
Favorite meal or something specifically from your countries? I don't know.
Those are like crepes.
All right, now let's go Ava. That's what I would guess too, Veronica.
Yeah.
I know it only in German.
Yeah.
Schnitzel mit Spätzle, Esser meat,
Yeah, like...
and this. It's hard to explain. I can show you a picture of it when we Google it, but I don't know.
Who is the best couples pair in women's tennis in the nation?
Coming up next, we'll see what's happening on campus as we go down the coast. And he's back on the bump in the Evergreen State. Gonzaga's own Marco Gonzales is suiting up for the Seattle Mariners. We talk with the former WCC Pitcher of the Year when we come back. WCC All-Access is brought to you in part by Nike.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
Let's do what we're called to do with wisdom and excellence.
Pick past the low-hanging
fruit and find new ways to reach higher levels. Let's leave a spot at the table
for the least included and the most likely to be the first of their kind
and the last in line.
Let's look around
from the heart of San Francisco and see the city for what it is. Passionate,
entrepreneurial,
inclusive, like no other place on earth. Let's
change the world from here.
Benedetti Diamond on the campus of San Francisco. Welcome back to WCC All Access. It's time now to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference. The Waves made a major splash by bringing back a former coach. Lorenzo Romar is the new head coach of Pepperdine Men's Hoops. He's most known for his 15 years spent in charge of the Washington Huskies, but Romar's first head coaching job was actually in Malibu. He coached the Waves for 3 seasons in the late 90s, winning 42 games in that span. He's won almost 400 games in his head coaching career. Down the coast at LMU, an end of an era. Athletics director Dr. Bill Husak is retiring at the end of July. In his 20 years as AD, the Lions have had the most success in school history, winning 35 of its 48 overall championships in that span. Former Bronco Jared Brownridge is back in the States. He signed a deal with the Delaware 87ers of the NBA G League. Brownridge was scoring 11 points per game for a team in Italy. The former Santa Clara star is the 3rd leading scorer in WCC history and was recently named to the conference's Decade in the Desert All-Tournament team. And in Provo, the BYU baseball team is playing on a new field. The Cougars installed a new synthetic turf at Miller Park in the offseason. They've been playing on natural grass for the last 48 years. BYU is the 3rd WCC team to go with the turf, joining Portland and USF. In his only appearance on this field, Marco Gonzales pitched a complete game, striking out 7 Dons. He'd go on to win the WCC Player of the Year in 2012 and be a first-round pick in the majors. Now the Gonzaga alum is back in Washington pitching for the Mariners. Let's go next level with Marco Gonzales.
Sammy O'Brien here with Marco Gonzales. Marco, this summer you were traded from the Cardinals to the Seattle Mariners. How does it feel to be back?
It feels great. This is just, where I feel like my home is. It's really getting back to my roots of where my career started for me. So when I found out I was in the Caravan coming through Spokane and we were in Wenatchee yesterday, I spent a summer there too. It really feels like I'm going back to where this all started. It's been very special.
Where it all started, you were a first rounder out of Gonzaga, but it's been a pretty wild ride since then. Will you take me through that? Yeah, it's been a long one. It's been difficult at times, but it's been a lot of fun. I was with St. Louis for 3 or 4 years and had a couple injuries, had some bright spots in there, some call-ups, some September magic, some October playoff run, which was a lot of fun too. And I have nothing but good things to say about the Cardinals. They're a phenomenal organization, and then getting the chance to get traded to the Mariners this summer was truly special, and especially after Tommy John this past year, the work that I put in to get back and being rewarded coming back to our hometown team was something that was really great. Take a little trip down memory lane since we're out here. You were co-freshman of the year and player of the year for the West Coast Conference in your time as a Bulldog. What are some of your favorite memories from Gonzaga?
I think just the people that I enjoyed spending time with. My teammates, my coaches, the staff here, my professors, everyone that's molded me into the person that I am today. That's what I'll remember most. A lot of my teammates I'm best friends with still. I talk to them on a daily basis, so that's what I'll remember most. Maybe not so much the scores or the stats. That's not what matters. It's the people that you have relationships over time.
Just lastly, you shared those titles with the USD alum Chris Bryant. Have you got to face him yet since you've been up?
I have, and it's always it keeps me on pins and needles facing that guy. It's always a nightmare, but no, Chris is an unbelievable guy. I've known him since high school, actually. Played with him and against him a lot. And we share a brotherly rivalry between us, and a guy that I'll always enjoy facing and also seeing off the field.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck to Marco and the Mariners this season. There is so much to do here in San Francisco besides catching a ball game, and who better to explore with than USF men's hoops coach Kyle Smith. Our Sammy O'Brien got a VIP tour with the second-year head coach.
Kyle, have you ever been to this location before?
I actually have been several times. It's my go-to default workout spot. All right, I always tell myself I'm going to run up and down these steps. I've yet to do that, but I enjoy the view.
We'll get into your history a little bit. You came over from Columbia, but you are familiar with the West Coast Conference. You were an assistant at a variety of different schools for over 18 years. What's bringing you back to the West Coast?
Just that. I love the WCC, and I've always talked about just the camaraderie, the value-based institutions, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't keeping an eye on the league when I was back in New York, and the weather. It's pretty nice out here.
San Diego, you were there 8 years?
Yep.
What did you learn most from your time there?
Kind of cut my teeth and got to really learn everything A to Z, whether it was actually literally running the clock at practice or doing laundry. I was surrounded by some awesome people. Obviously Randy, Hank Egan, who went on to go coach in the NBA, and Coach David Fizdale, Mike Brown. They're obviously doing really well.
St. Mary's, you were there with Randy Bennett. What were you able to learn from him, as well as Patrick Mills, Matthew Dellavedova?
At the time, St. Mary's was the year before they went 2-27, so figured it was a big risk, but with huge reward. And I guess we learned how to build a program.
We're here at the next stop, Christie Field. As you can see, the Golden Gate Bridge in the back. I know you have a tie to this city a little bit further back than just coaching. How far does it go back?
It goes back when I was in high school. My dad lived in the city, and even though I was growing up in Houston, I'd come out here and spend summers, and I'd actually caddy up at San Francisco Golf Club and always looking for a pickup basketball game where there was Potrero Hill, or had a blast.
What is it about this city that you like so much?
The weather, and I know it gets a bad rap with the fog and stuff like that, but we embrace it. It's just a picturesque place, whether you're walking or family time, and very unique, to say the least. The diverse communities you have, you get someone like a foreign player, there's going to be someone that he's going to be able to relate to, communicate with, or just go down the Fisherman's Wharf, you'll probably find a tourist or two that make them feel comfortable.
When we come back, we take a look at some of the best tweets and posts from around the conference. And the 10th anniversary celebration was as big as advertised. We look back at the WCC Basketball Championships in Las Vegas when we return.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the three. How do you like that?
One Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.
Let's take a look at some of the best moments on social media from across the conference. Former Pepperdine star Chase Darno is in the San Francisco Giants organization, and one of the perks, meeting the Say Hey Kid. What a cool photo here of Chase and Willie Mays, the most famous Giant of them all. Speaking of celebrity sightings, it's hard to miss this guy in a crowd. Flavor Flav was at the WCC Basketball Championships and rocking a BYU shirt in this photo. And of course, the former rapper from Public Enemy was sporting his signature clock around the neck. And while we're talking style, check out these looks from the Gonzaga men. Josh Perkins and crew looking like a GQ cover as they traveled to Boise, Idaho for the start of the NCAA tournament. Pretty impressive. We're back on WCC All-Access from the campus of San Francisco. The USF men and women both reached the conference semifinals in Vegas before falling to the eventual basketball champions, Gonzaga. Let's look back at all of the action from the court at the Orleans Arena.
Rakova to Silen to beat the buzzer. Oh! Are you kidding me?
They know where their score and creativity is going to come from.
It's going to come from that man right there. A 4-point play opportunity for James Bateman.
And Ferrari puts it on the deck, pulls up, and scores! Back this guy. 2-point lead, done. 6.1 seconds left. He's going to take it all the way. Tripp is going to go wall to wall, and he's not going to score. And the follow by Towns is good. And we're going to overtime.
Lee flips it to Finney, driving on Forcadilla. Backdoor cut. Summers inside, and a blocking foul.
They are on a mission. They're your seniors, and your seniors, you go as far as your seniors take you.
Williams knocks it away in the lane. Here comes Hachimura. Throws it down with the left hand.
Oh, that'll excite some people. Are you serious?
Rebound. Childs just took the lead. Unbelievable. This guy Childs.
And at the end of the day, when we needed to make big plays, then we were able to do that.
And a chance for a 3-point play.
That's probably as good a run as I've ever been a part of in the 28 years I've been at Gonzaga, and definitely as the 20 years I've been as head coach.
One of the highlights off the court is the annual Kids Day celebration, when kids from around Las Vegas descend upon the Orleans to learn some tricks from WCC hoopers and have some fun. Take a look.
Reach up to the sky!
always fun to see those players and kids let loose a little. And another awesome event at the tournament each year is the WCC Hall of Honor induction ceremony. 10 new members were enshrined into the hall this year, including Olympians, world champions, and history makers.
All right, thank you for being here, Randy.
Thank you. I feel like I won the Masters in these chairs. This is pretty cool.
You finished with a career record of 5,362 assists, which is over 1,000 more than the next best. How were you able to accomplish that?
Well, we're here for a basketball tournament, and you all know you can't have an assist unless you have someone to score. So I'm just going to thank all my teammates out there for putting the ball away.
I decided to go for it, and I think that you guys seen the little video of my crazy self in the basketball court. So I was crazy before the heart surgery, so after the heart surgery you can only imagine what's really going on in my head.
I didn't think I was going to go to Pepperdine, even though that was a school that had a lot of sentimental value to me. My dad used to take me to a lot of Pepperdine baseball games, and sitting at that field, if nobody's been there, it has a horrible view of the ocean while you're watching a baseball game. And I'm sitting there watching games, and I thought, as a 12, 13, 14-year-old kid, I'm like, it would be amazing to play here.
I'm not sure if you remember this, but your coach had mentioned a story in which you were a key role on a bus trip back in the Bay Area of picking up a Hell's Angel on the side of the road.
I have no recollection of that. It was 40 years ago, but you think I'd remember that.
Already looking forward to seeing who makes next year's class. All right, one more block to go. Coming up, we'll see which movie stars look like WCC players and coaches. And the best of the best. All of the top plays on the field from the last month of action. You don't want to miss it.
From the shores of the Pacific to the mountains of Utah, in the classroom, in the community, and on the fields of play, we give back. We lead by example. We represent.
Here's what to watch for over the next few weeks. Our Friday night baseball series rolls on. Check out the last 4 games on the schedule before the WCC Championship. San Diego at BYU, BYU at St. Mary's, LMU at Santa Clara, and the Gales at the Lions. You can watch them all for free on the W.TV. The conference will crown a rowing champion on May 12th at Lake Natoma in Sacramento. Gonzaga is the 2-time defending champion there. And 2 weeks later at Banner Island Ballpark in Stockton, we'll see who's getting that automatic bid to the NCAA baseball tournament. You can watch the entire WCC Baseball Championship live on the W.TV beginning May 24th. Welcome back to WCC All-Access. I'm Sarah Cazell. We all think about who would play us in a movie, right? Claire Danes from Homeland, obviously. We posed that question to WCC Hoops players and coaches, so let's see who they picked as the stars of their own films.
Just because he's similar to my good looks, Denzel Washington, no, something like that. No.
Really, Denzel?
Yeah, Denzel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty easy. I've been told I look like Alec Baldwin, so I would think Alec Baldwin would play me.
Probably Will Smith, the younger Will Smith.
He's not as big and buffed as you are,
I'm getting a little bit older and wiser and more mature. Let's see, Meg Ryan. Let's go with Meg Ryan. I've actually had people ask me that before, so it's right there on the tip of my tongue, so I'm gonna go with Meg Ryan.
I would say, okay, so obviously that's off my resemblance. I would say Tracy Morgan, obviously be my actor.
Easy one, Bruce Willis. Yep, the hair.
That's a good one.
Let's go with, just go with someone classic, like Leo or something. Like, he's a really great actor, so in that case, it just, it's not just for the looks.
I don't know if I do anymore, but I used Sean Penn. That was all I got.
I'm gonna say Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union.
It has to be Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union.
Well, that does it from San Francisco. Thank you so much for watching WCC All Access. And now we leave you with some of the month's best plays from around the West Coast Conference. We'll see you next time.
Coach wants to start it now. Jordan Ford. Hashtag SC Top 10 that one.
From the classroom to the court, 10 exceptional schools across the West Coast. Since 2010, 48 postseason wins, 12 academic All-Americans.
Pop the three. How do you like that?
One Final Four appearance. It's more than just a game.